go through kind of what the mindset is in helping developers with a Parkplus system. So of course, it depends on
Yeah,
how many units and the
right.
size of the envelope, but just go through maybe some use cases that you guys have in the pipeline where it is saving the developer some money, and it's providing also an amenity and a service for the residents. So there's kind of two components there, I think.
Yeah, no, you're exactly right. And especially right now, is a great time for somebody, if they were going one direction, to
Hmm.
hit pause and go, hey, how can I save money on this project? I would say anybody who's going subterranean
Oh
right
yeah,
now should absolutely hit the brakes and go, okay, what happens
yeah.
if we put automated parking into this project?
Mm.
There's so many different ways in which a developer can recognize some value back with that system,
Hmm.
whether it's saving on the depth of excavation, whether it is, here's a good example. There's a project that they were going to go with a puzzle system,
Mm.
right? Which, so they were already saving on that volume. Then they looked at the AGV system, and by
Right.
switching to the fully automated, and that's not something I always recommend, because if a puzzle works, and just the cost benefit. But what the AGV system is going to do is give them so much room back that they
Mm.
can put a gym. There's so many other uses they can use that space for,
Right.
where it added huge value back to their project.
Got it.
Um, with the mechanical parking and multifamily in today's climate, the other thing is, if you can add more units,
Hmm.
because I'm going to give you more parking,
Yeah.
that's a value.
Yep.
Even though people will take the density bonuses like we're talking about on the TOCs,
Yep.
the market still wants the parking spaces.
Yeah.
So, but that'll add to rent. So there's so many different ways to recognize value with the parking, that what one developer is going to save for one reason is going to be a completely different reason for somebody else. The nice thing is we have such a large product line
Hmm.
that you may think, you know what, puzzle's the way to go, and you end up with AGV. Or you may be thinking, there's people who call me and say, oh, I want to do a fully automated system.
Right.
And I'm looking at their plans and I go, okay, we can give that to you, but let's at least look at the puzzle system and their options,
Yeah.
because it's going to get you what you need for a lesser price, and you have a lot more access points. I mean, they both have their pros and cons,
Mm.
but being able to look at everything and go, these are my options, and at least be able to give the developer some options.
Agreed. Yeah, I actually think more developers need to get a proposal from you guys, right? And
Yeah,
so, and because I think a lot of it is just based on they don't know. They don't know what
yeah.
highest and best use for parking is. And again, it's very site specific. And so, how many units, where is it, what type of build, so much of that comes into play.
Yeah, and when you and I first met a couple of years back, a lot of this stuff was concept, right?
Yeah,
Of
agree.
going, and a lot of people are like, well, I don't want to be the first person. And is
Yeah,
LA even approving things, or is Santa Monica going to approve these?
yeah,
Whatever their inhibitions were at that time,
yeah.
or
Mm.
5 years ago, they're still thinking about years prior to that. And it's like, oh, you can't build those here, or it's going to delay my project, or any of those fears
Mm.
or inhibitions are completely gone.
That's awesome.
LA absolutely accepts
That's so
it.
great.
All the cities see what this does, not only for a project, but more even
Mhm.
for the environment,
Right.
right? So that should alleviate anybody's concern. That definitely should not be a reason not to at least have us look at their plans.
Agreed.